Hey guys, accountability is one of the keys to success in Fight Club and in life. But we realize that this whole idea of having an accountability partner may be new to you. Or maybe you've had an accountability partner in the past and you didn't find it very helpful, or worse yet, maybe it was a bad experience. What I want to do in this short video is talk to you about how to be a good accountability partner so that we're all on the same page as we begin this chapter of Fight Club together. So what makes a good accountability partner? I have identified 5 things, but there's more, but I want to just talk about 5 things. The first thing is communication. The key to success of any relationship is good and frequent communication. You should be in communication with your AP several times a week. You should meet in person at least every week if possible. If not possible, then talk on the phone. Text, email, and other forms of digital communication are okay, but they should only be used to supplement the communication, not as the only form of communication. For some of you, I know that alone is going to be a bit of a challenge. You are going to need to push yourself to take initiative in communicating with your AP. Don't wait for the other guy to contact you. You take the initiative the first time and every time to make sure that you are having good and frequent communication. The second thing that makes a good accountability partner is trust. How do you build trust? Well, simply put, you build trust by being someone who is trustworthy. Trustworthy people do what they say they're going to do, and they don't do what they say they're not going to do. But contrary to popular opinion, trust isn't necessarily earned, it's given. You should strive to prove yourself trustworthy. Yes, absolutely. But ultimately, you have to choose to put your trust in someone else. No relationship can thrive without trust. And since we only have 10 weeks together, you need to give and build trust faster than maybe you're comfortable with. And that's okay to get out of your comfort zone and build that trust rapidly. The third thing that makes a good accountability partner is honesty and vulnerability. Honesty and vulnerability. Those are 2 keys to building trust right there. Listen, here's the awful truth about accountability. It only works as much as you are willing to be honest and vulnerable. If you're not going to be truthful about your struggles, your pains, your temptations, your mistakes, your failures, your sins, all your garbage, then you're not going to get very much out of the accountability partner relationship. And you're probably not going to give much of value either. You have to take a risk to put your trust in someone else by being honest and vulnerable. It is a high risk. I know that. It's a high risk to be honest and vulnerable with somebody. But with great risk comes great reward. The fourth thing that makes a good accountability partner is asking questions. Asking agreed upon questions is what takes your time together from a conversation to true accountability. I have an accountability partner that I've talked weekly with for over 10 years now. Over the course of time, we've become best friends. But the whole reason that the relationship has worked for so long is because we decided right at the start that we were committed to accountability. We didn't just want to be friends. We didn't want to just have a conversation. We wanted to be held accountable. So we said right off the bat, look, here's my struggles. Here's where I want to grow. Here's what I want you to ask me every week to make sure that I'm growing in those areas. And so we each identified 3 areas: lust, anger, and physical fitness as the 3 areas that we needed to improve upon. So every Monday when we talk, we'll talk for about an hour, but the last 15-20 minutes of that conversation are always given to the questions that we decided we were going to ask each other 10 years ago. We ask, how was your purity this week? How was your anger this week? And were you gentle with your wife and kids? And how often did you exercise? Now, those don't have to be the questions that you ask each other, but you should take some time in your first meeting with your accountability partner to really maybe come up with 2, 3, 4 questions that you're going to ask each other based on where you are at in life and where you need to grow and where you want to be held accountable. Of course, as I said before, there's only value in these questions if you're committed to being honest and vulnerable with each other. That is the key. The fifth thing that makes a good accountability partner is grace and truth. So your AP has been vulnerable with you and answered the questions honestly. Now, how are you going to respond? For some of you, this might be the most difficult part right here. Many of us fall into one extreme or the other. Either we're all grace and we're like, oh, that's okay. It's no big deal, dude. Just, I struggle with that too. It's not a problem. Or we're all truth and we're like, you freaking idiot. What were you thinking? Get your head in the game. Come on now. The truth is that truth without grace is just mean. And grace without truth is meaningless. Truth without grace is just judgmental, and grace without truth is just enabling. We need to be truthful with ourselves and others about our actions and the corresponding consequences, but we also need to be gracious in forgiving ourselves and others. The truth is, dude, you screwed up. But the grace is, you are not a screw up. You are a son of the Most High King, and you can and you will get better by the grace of God. Now here, guys, is where an AP can be really powerful in your life. A lot of us struggle with forgiveness. And our biggest struggle maybe isn't even with forgiving others as much as it is forgiving ourselves. And we walk around wallowing in shame and self-pity. We may know in our head that God forgives us through Christ, but we really struggle to believe it in our hearts. And sometimes we just need someone else who can hold up our head, figuratively or maybe literally, look you in the eye and say, you are forgiven. You're forgiven. Christ forgives you. He's already paid the price for you. Don't ever underestimate the power of those 3 words. You are forgiven. You could be the tangible, visible love of Christ to someone by offering those 3 simple words. Guys, those are 5 ways that you can be a good accountability partner. This chapter of Fight Club and throughout your life, I look forward to hearing how you encourage and challenge and sharpen each other over the next few months.